This is perhaps the most important dog training video that I will ever make. For many decades, there has been a school of thought that attempts to explain the behavior of dogs by making comparisons to wolves. The unfortunate thing is that not only are these beliefs still widespread, but they are also extremely misleading and damaging when it comes to understanding the true motivations behind a dog's behavior. Given that the dog is a descendant of the wolf, when we talk about today's dog, we're talking about an animal that has diverged significantly from wolves in the last 15,000 years. We must realize that there are fundamental differences between these two. Using wolves to explain and understand behavior in dogs is a little bit like trying to explain human behavior based on the actions of a chimpanzee or any other primate. The idea of dominance is probably one of the most misunderstood concepts. You may have heard of a dog being described as dominant, as though it were an inbuilt personality trait. This is actually an incorrect use of the term, because if we look at the definition of dominance, dominance is the relationship between two or more animals that is based directly on who has access to valued resources, such as food. Apart from being completely inaccurate, we are creating a problem when we label a dog as being dominant. We are creating explanations for behaviors that have absolutely nothing to do with actual dominance. For example, many people believe that when a dog jumps up on you to greet you, they are asserting their dominance. This is far from the truth. The most probable reason why they do so being that they have been rewarded for doing that in some way in the past. The solution would be to teach the dog what to do instead in that situation, such as sit, and reward them only for doing so. The dog goes out the door first and continues to pull you down the street on their walk, and this is a display of their dominant behavior. This is again incorrect, the more likely cause being that a walk is an exciting activity for a dog. There's all these smells and things to see and sniff. Until they're taught not to pull and desensitized to the cues that trigger excitement, the dog has every right to act in that way. Teaching a dog to walk calmly on a loose leash can and will eliminate this behavior completely. And finally, dogs that are dominant think they are the boss and choose to ignore you when they are told to do something. This is again completely untrue. A dog that does not respond to a cue either does not understand what is being asked or has not been properly reinforced to enjoy doing that behavior. Modern and scientifically correct dog training is about motivating your dog to be readily obedient in all situations, and the list goes on and on. But my point being that none of these behaviors have anything to do with valued resources or dominance. Therefore, what we want is not to gain dominance over our dogs, but instead the ability to influence them to perform behaviors willingly. I think that one of the reasons why these false ideas have gained so much popularity is through television programming that is centered around outdated and misinformed theories of dog training. All this really does is it creates this fear among dog owners that their pets are somehow trying to strive for this higher rank in the household. We must abandon the mindset that we have to maintain this top dog position. Studies have shown that eating a meal before your dog or walking ahead of them through a doorway actually does nothing to influence your dog's overall perception of their relationship, but instead only tells them what to expect in those very specific situations. There has been so much research done on this issue that I could probably make a whole video just trying to explain some of it. Although I'm not going to do that, I do want to share with you one article that I think relates directly to what I'm talking about. According to a study that was published by the University of Bristol in the Journal of Veterinary Behavior, techniques that are aimed at dominance reduction have the potential to cause serious harm to a dog-human relationship. Things like pinning the dog to the floor, jerking on their collar, or physically manipulating them in any way are not only far from being helpful, but we now have scientific evidence that suggests that they are very dangerous. In many cases, they can actually cause a dog to become aggressive by increasing their fear and anxiety. I'm going to put a link to the article in the description box if you want to go and check it out. I don't want to sound like I'm saying that dominance does not exist, but I am suggesting a better way to understand the domesticated pet dog. And this is by taking on the role of a strong, loving, and consistent parent. Much like teaching a small child, it is the responsibility of the parent to consistently set clear limits for behavior and effectively communicate the rules by immediately rewarding the correct behaviors and removing the rewards for undesirable behaviors so that they do not become reinforced accidentally. By rewarding only the desirable behaviors frequently and consistently enough, these good behaviors soon become permanent habits. The best thing about working with dog is that it's never too late to do something differently. While many abusive dog handling techniques have the potential to cause serious psychological stress and harm to the dog, I personally believe that there are very few things that would fall under the category of irreversible. My advice would be that if you feel that you have a dog that may be dominant or aggressive, that you seek out a professional dog trainer that specializes in positive reinforcement and counter-conditioning methods. These approaches have been widely documented to address these issues successfully in dogs. As the ideas of positive dog training continue to spread, there is hope that one day our dogs would not have their intelligence and capacity to learn undermined by becoming labeled as dominant or stubborn. But I feel like we still have a long way to go. This is where I feel like we must unite as a community of positive dog parents and trainers to help spread the word. I want to know what your opinion is on the topic, what experiences you may have had with this sort of thing. Be sure to add it in the comment section, or even better yet, make a video response. If you like this video and you agree with what I have to say, I urge you to share it with anyone that you think might find it interesting or useful. This is an issue that really deserves to be put under the spotlight because it has the potential to change the way that so many people view and train dogs.